Today we're going to continue on from the previous video about angelic aggregates. In relation to the cherubim, cherubim can be likened to an angelic map of energy vortices, angelic map of entities. Now when we talk about the cherubim being an angelic map, we're going to intertwine the element, the concept of a yantra. We talked about a yantra in the previous videos. Yantra serves as a physical element, something that's visual. It's also an energetic map of a specific Devata. It is discussed that Devata is a lower essence of a diva, which diva is more pronounced, a major deity, whereas Devata is a divine essence of a lower minor deity. It's referenced that the Devatas are in everything and around everything. Devatas around living structures and rivers and trees. Devatas, this divine essences, and around rocks and grass and houses and monuments and people. We have the same thing within Jewish mysticism and Judaism, which they call that Ma'azala, the constellation, a divine essence of flow, a stream, divine essence that permeates within all of creation, is in everything, extension of God. So we have here yantra. In previous videos we talked about the differentiation between a yantra and a mantra. Mantra being the audible representation, an embodiment of divine, of divinity, of divine essence. And a yantra being a visual representation and embodiment of the divine, a divine essence. So we have here, in combination with the cherubim and the yantra being an energetic map, a physical body, a visual depiction of the divine. I mentioned in the previous video about the cherubim being angelic aggregates, and Devata being angelic aggregates. These are a combination of sorts. We understand is that the cherubim have eyes within and without, all around. The wings, the legs, the body, within and without. In Revelation, we see that the Lamb has 7 eyes. These eyes are the 7 spirits of God. These spirits are angelic. These are entities. So if the cherubim are covered with eyes within and without, then this is a angelic aggregate. Each cherubim is many. Cherubim is plural. So cherubim is an angelic aggregate of energetic divine substances, energetic divine entities are working together in unison, because they're filled with eyes, and these eyes being in many layers, stars also being in relation to spirits, angels. So it depends on the level you are viewing them at. If you're viewing the cherubim on a cosmological level, then you see them as the constellation with the 12 zodiac. If you're viewing them from the 3rd heaven, you see the cherubim as a living being, a living creature. If you're viewing them from a terrestrial standpoint, you see them as the 12 tribes of Israel, in Hinduism, the 12 Aditya's. These all have a certain structure, a visual mandala to them, a holographic sequence. Encoded in this holographic sequence, we have the embodiment of the divine consciousness within this yantra, this visual depiction of the divine. So since the cherubim, that being a depiction of the 12 zodiac, and that being the representation of God, the representation of God manifest in the flesh, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, S-O-N and S-U-N. Then these cherubim, this visual yantra, is an embodiment and a representation to point you to the divine. They carry within themselves angelic aggregates, not only in the third heaven layer and dimension, but in the cosmological dimension with the 12 zodiac constellations. We have a sequence. And there's certain nodes where these angelic aggregates operate as nodes within the universe. As above, so below, we also have these angelic aggregates as nodes within the terrestrial sphere, with the 12 trines of Israel depicting the one man Christ, which we are one with, one body, as one church, the bride of Christ. We also have angelic aggregates that we're built out of as nodes within our physical structure, within our chakras, within our very being, within our organs. It's all built up and harnessed and supported by this Devata, these angelic structures, these nodes. These are angelic aggregates. And it is a yantra because it's a visual structure that holds the divine within it. Often depicted and seen as a mandala, in which it goes on into infinity, in which your body goes on in a quantum level within quantum physics, down to the very minute level of the atoms and quarks and gluons, to the Planck scale, has a infinity aspect to it, the infinity of the scale of who you are and what you're made of. It's extremely large, in an infinite level on a small scale. So either you are expanded out to an infinite level on a cosmic level, at a cosmic scale, or you are condensed down to an infinite level on a smaller micro scale. You are micro and macro at the same time. You have capability to be condensed down to an infinite small level to be expanded to an infinite large level. That is the capabilities of your body. So these cherubim, as they're covered with eyes, 4 on each side, with the throne in the middle. This visual depiction operates as a mandala. This is a yantra. And we have the deity, the divinity, that is weaved and encoded within that yantra, encoded within that structure. We have the Devata encoded within that structure. That within every cherubim and every cherub, you have an angelic aggregate or angelic aggregates that make up the whole. We have the whole in many parts, and many parts that make up the whole. So, when you're able to visualize, meditate, and utilize this as a tantric technology, you utilize this as a vehicle to access the divine. You see, with every Hindu deity, major Hindu deity has a cherubim equivalent in Christianity, which they refer to it in Hinduism as a vahana. So this vahana, this cherubim, is your stepping stone, your vehicle, your mount to assessing and ascending to the divine status. We have this cherubim, this vahana, as a mount because it teaches us things about the deity. With the cherubim, with the 4 faces of God, the lion, the ox, the eagle, the man, we see the 4 faces of God in the Gospels of Jesus Christ. The Gospels. So we're seeing God, his face, and his faces. And we see that it's multifaceted. So the major faces of God is lion, ox, eagle, man, but there's multiple other dimensions yet to be unveiled. We utilize these faces, we utilize these cherubim, these vehicles, this Vahana, as a vehicle to assisting and ascending to divine status, as a throne to sit upon. This cherubim as a throne. When you're seated in heavenly places, this is your cherubic throne, where you're seated in heavenly places where you're meant to be. So your heavenly places seat is a cherubic seat. So when you actually ascend to the consciousness of this cherubim, then you actually have to realize and experience your heavenly seat, and you're seated in heavenly places when you're raised up to sit together in heavenly places far above all things and filling all things in heaven and earth in the ages to come. This is your divine status. But this is made up of angelic aggregates, as even within science, you see that the human body is made of many components. And even in Hinduism, they have what is referred to as 33 million deities. What we understand that these are not actually gods, because there's one God, but these are energetic vortices, energetic structures, energetic entities, angels, energetic beings that make up all types of modalities within creation. We have the angel for rivers and angels for lakes. We have angels for skies. We have angels for the ocean. We have the angelic angels for fire and wind and elementals. All these things, wealth and prosperity, fertility. We have all these things in which you have an angel for this and an angel for that. And this is what these cherubim, depending on the coloring, depending on the direction from north, south, east, and west, it has this different tilt for an angelic aggregate for you to access, so you can be endued with that certain hue, you see, to become like the divine, to ascend to the divine, to actually bring down what you already are from your higher self, your higher being. The majority of your physical body is empty space. You're not experiencing the true essence of who you really are. So you really need to bring down the true essence of who you are. That you not only bilocate and trilocate, you're able to be in multiple continuous frequent places at the same time. You see, that your body cannot be limited to one place. That's why you're seated in heavenly places, you see. This is Tantric technology, and the combination of mantra was referred to as mantras. We're utilizing the sound. The sound is embodiment of the divine. We have the Yod-He, Vah-He, which is these audible embodiment of the Godhead, audible embodiment of the deity in the mantra. And then within sound, and then we have the yantra, which is a visual embodiment of the Godhead, of the deity. Within the yantra, we see the yantra also depicted within and as cherubim, because they're covered with eyes. These eyes are stars, and these stars have an arrangement. They have a certain arrangement and a frequency. They have a certain structure, like a mandala, in which you're around the throne, one on one side, to the north, south, east, and west, on all sides, covered round about. You surround the throne with Christ, the Son of Man. You, as Christ, one with Christ. And this is a mandala. It's an infinite yantra. It shows infinity within it. It's an embodiment of the divine, that being infinite, unchanging. So you have that. So when you're able to connect to this vahana, this cherubim, then you're connecting to this infinite dimension. And must I say that each cherubim brings with them a dimension, brings with them a firmament, brings with them a heaven There's a dimension, there's a firmament above every cherubim. And they are connected to every firmament. They bring with them a certain firmament. So with the firmament, with the cherubim comes the firmament. With the cherubim comes a specific heaven, a dimension for you to go into, for you to live in, for you to embody, for you to experience a certain heaven. And with the cherubim come angelic aggregates, because they're covered with eyes, and these eyes are stars. They're angelic entities that make up the universe macroscopically and microscopically within you and with all around, within, without. They make up everything. They're around everything, you see. So we see this on a cosmic level. We see this on a heavenly level in the third heaven. We see this also on a terrestrial level with the 12 tribes of Israel, which the 12 tribes of Israel, their standards and signs, their setup, their arrangement is a yantra. It's a visual depiction of the embodiment of the divine as one entity, you see. So we're going to continue to delve deep into this topic about the cherubim and how we need to coordinate and operate more so with the cherubim to understand the true scope of what the cherubim actually provide. They're far more than just living creatures. They are far more than just living creatures around the throne. We'll just leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.